Hello, good people of the internet, and welcome to Famipod, a podcast for family, where family comes first and friendship is power. A show where we cover all of the critical hits and industry shifts of the gaming landscape, like Sony's live service initiative is an even bigger failure than we initially thought. Impressions from the Wolverine preview event are very mixed, and we're going to yell at each other about it. Switch 2 sales are here, and Curly might be kind of sad. And good people of the internet, this is not a drill, but Kingdom Hearts 4 is real, and we're going to talk about it. It's guaranteed for 2027. I am your host, aka I'm your host, Ryan Tierney, aka your number one Kingdom Hearts fan. And with me tonight, I've got the famed developer of your soon-to-be favorite puzzle platformer, The Buddy Signal, and a man who was recently voted by his friends as most likely to eat shit on September 15th when Wolverine releases. It's Dennis Lofgren.
I wanted to be clear that Kingdom Hearts 4 was real before this.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask.
Could have fooled me.
Speaking of which, on the other end is a man who may have been right about Kingdom Hearts 4 not releasing in 2024. He may have been right about Kingdom Hearts not releasing in 2025. And he may have been right about Kingdom Hearts 4 not releasing in 2026. But he was dead wrong about it not releasing in 2027. It's Mr. Curly. How you doing tonight, dude?
Hey, man, you got to call the shots where you can take them, you know? There's probably a 50% chance it wasn't going to release in 2027, and then somebody lit a fire under their ass, and they're just like, bro, this can't keep happening. I'm excited, man.
I think the people at Disney saw that it was like, oh, this is $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
Nomura, what are you doing, man?
They're like, how much money does this make? Where's the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. This is an IP. This is a crossover IP that we already own and have been owning for years now.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Also,
Absolutely
one that people actually like.
Yeah, man, there's no fan base quite like the Kingdom Hearts one. That's for
really
sure.
nothing like the fan base in terms from dedication and just absolute toxicity. It is one of the most toxic fan bases on the internet. As a proud member of that family.
More toxic than the Star Wars fan base?
I think so, dude. If you say
I feel like they're one and the same.
Maybe. I mean, they're going to be merging more than likely.
It's going to be the same, bro. I would bet my bottom dollar that there's going to be a Star Wars world in the Kingdom Hearts 4 game.
Oh, it's already been leaked, or it's already been confirmed.
Oh, really? Did they?
Not at D23, but back when they initially showed like the first like stills of Kingdom Hearts 4, there was a picture of what's the planet in
Tatooine?
Not Tatooine, in Return of the Jedi, with the Ewoks. Endor. There was what people thought was Endor, and there's a footprint of an AT-AT.
Nice. How much is that? Like, that could just be the stupid Mickey ears being planted everywhere, you know?
Man, it could be. It could be absolutely nothing, but I mean,
Endor is also just a forest outside of San Francisco.
That's also true.
We got San Fran, Tokyo, or whatever it is from Big Hero 6. Maybe we get San Francisco.
It is not time to bring back the Sora feet picks, baby.
No.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and crack into this first one. Headline: PlayStation reboots Horizon Hunters Gathering.
We were talking about Kingdom Hearts. May as well talk about Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
I was going to save the best for last, but I mean, we can talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Well,
let's do it.
I was thinking, like, I was watching. I didn't really like go deep into Kingdom Hearts, but I watched the Coco reveal.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking hype, dude.
Oh, it's so hype,
right?
Like, it's so hype.
You have like Benjamin Bratt out on stage. They've just like announced Coco 2, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't really. That was what I assumed was the context. And then it's like, oh, now you can join the world of Coco or whatever the fuck in interactive form. And then it's like, go in and I guess, and then from what I saw later on, is like they show essentially like a frame by frame recreation of scenes from Coco. I haven't seen Coco. and then
What?
like then just like Sora shows up.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
even
dude.
Sora, but like it just looks like a scene from the movie.
The Pixar movie. I mean, 3 was
and
like
the
that, but
fucking
this is even
Heartless
more
come
so.
out of the ground. And like I didn't really know what I was watching at first. And then whenever I saw it, I was like, whoa, holy shit.
You know what made my heart really happy about that trailer, Curly? Is the finger positions on the fretboard of
yeah.
him playing the guitar was like looked like he was actually playing the notes. It's like,
Yeah,
man,
dude. I mean, the Kingdom Hearts production on these Disney Worlds has been fantastic. If anything, like, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like the Frozen recreation. I thought it was pretty cool personally, but I mean, this does look similar to that, where it's just like we're probably gonna get a Coco musical number in Kingdom Hearts like we did Frozen.
Maybe.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry, dude. Dennis, you gotta watch Coco, bro.
Coco is fantastic.
Like,
it's
one of probably like top 3 Pixar movies, bro. It's so good.
Let's
seeing Day of the Dead like themes, Donald, Goofy, and Sora was fucking sick.
Well, let's break into it then. You've convinced me. You've pulled my leg, Dennis. We'll go ahead and start talking about Kingdom Hearts 4. Headline: Kingdom Hearts 4 announced and confirmed for 2027. Kingdom Hearts 4 is officially on the way, and we at long last now know we can expect it to land in 2027. After first officially announced during the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event back in 2022, the upcoming RPG made a welcome appearance during the Nintendo Direct June 2026 showcase, which confirmed the platforms it will be releasing on. While we're still awaiting some more concrete story details, you can find a full breakdown of everything we know so far about Kingdom Hearts 4 below. It goes on to say the Coco world was revealed. We got to see playable Mickey, Donald, and Goofy for the very first time in the series, which is unbelievably hype. The Mickey sections, I don't know if y'all saw this, but like the whole, it looks like it's incorporating Epic Mickey with like the puzzle elements of it a little bit, where you kind of go into like a 2D like little like silhouette version of Mickey, and you're like doing some like 2D platforming. And then there's like an origami version of Mickey that's like going around. Donald and Goofy hanging out, fighting some Heartless in the underworld. Caveat here: Donald and Goofy are bad friends. They're very famously the homies. But Sora
went to hell.
Spoilers. Sora is dead, and the first place they went to look for the dude was hell. Like,
yeah, dude, that's amazing. I mean, like, it's one of those things where I think there was another similar to the Star Wars leak where it's like we saw like a still frame of what looked to be Mickey gameplay, and like that just alone like sells you on the game. Like, Dennis, I know you're not a Kingdom Hearts sicko like us, but like since the first game, Mickey Mouse barely appeared in it. But like the dude shows up.
I have played
with
the first game on stream famously.
Okay. Well, like when he pops up as the dark silhouette and spins a fucking golden keyblade and is like, "Don't worry, bro. I got your buddy, man." He
takes out 3 of these giant dark side Heartless that you struggle with the whole game. It's awesome.
He just becomes such a badass, and that sounds so fucking stupid because it's goddamn Mickey Mouse. But like, nothing's more hype than that motherfucker showing up with the goddamn golden keyblade. Sometimes he's got the Organization 13 cloak.
Oh man,
like, come on, bro.
He rips off the cloak in 2. He rips off the cloak in 2. Shows his new keyblade. Like, they'll pay for this. The hypest moment in the entire series. Is so.
The fucking did somebody mention the Door to Darkness is so good, man. Like, we're finally getting our bro playable, and like I hope that we get Donald, Goofy, and Mickey playable as like a party, and like I think that would be just unbelievably hype. But
somebody, go ahead.
I hope that it doesn't lead to, because I always kind of envision because everybody's a fucking Keyblade wielder now. I always kind of suspected they would be like, well, eventually Donald and Goofy are going to pair up with Mickey, and you're going to have Riku and Kairi as your party members, and that'll be kind of like we say goodbye to our pals. But like Donald and Goofy are just the fucking homies, bro. You can't break away from the tree. I sound like an idiot.
No, you're absolutely right. They are the homies, and you can't have a Kingdom Hearts game without the 3 of them being a team. And the people are speculating, and man, if because Nomura's been tied to this and FF7 remake for so long, what if they're, now that Donald and Goofy are going to be playable, if you can switch between the three on the fly, a la remake Rebirth, and I promise y'all right now, I will lose my mind if I could just swap between all three of them on the go. It would be so awesome,
bro. I mean, the possibilities are endless now, because think about it. You could technically have more than 3 playable characters at a time. You could be jumping around between fucking Riku, Mickey, and Sora, Donald, and Goofy. What a world! Wow.
One of the things that I'm most excited about is kind of like the return to form of like the overarching theme of the first 2 games, which is just like looking for your friends and going on this grand adventure. Yeah. 3 was so focused on wrapping up so many like loose threads and like finishing the Darkseeker saga that we kind of lost that narrative element of like, this is about friendship and about searching for your friends and like reuniting with them. Because in that first game, it's just Sora like, you know, thrust into this giant adventure, and he's just trying to find his like the 2 people that he cares about the most. And this kind of feels like we're returning to that, where it's just Donald and Goofy possibly chasing after Sora for a vast majority of the game, trying to get their friend back. I'm very excited about that. The idea that they're like cool. Maybe like chasing after him in Coco is really cool.
What a cool world to do that with too, like playing with like the afterlife stuff, and like I guess Sora really is dead. Spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3, but bro's gone. That dude's a fucking ghost.
The aesthetics of that world are going to be so awesome to just explore. The city looks really vast. I don't know how much of Coco will be like explorable, but like if 3 is any like testament to that, it should be pretty big. Speaking of which, one of the other things that Nomura talked about in an interview after D23 was that Quadratum is set to be like the largest environment that there's ever been in a Kingdom Hearts series.
Is that the weird realistic city?
Yeah, that's where he's the 2 characters he's interacting with, Sigurd and Strelitzia. Like that seems to be like serving as like a hub world, a la like Traverse Town or Hollow Bastion from the first 2 games.
So is that just what Sora looks like now? Because I thought it might have just been that world that like he looks human.
Yeah, I mean he looks
human's not the right word, but
he looks a little different in each game. I think this is just you know, he's a little older now. Maybe
I don't like it. I mean, like his feet. What's up with that, dude? What's weird is
3.
Not that much.
Not that much. But they've been progressively getting smaller since. Like,
I mean, they were too big initially.
They were. Alex actually popped Kingdom Hearts 1 up like literally like a couple of hours ago, and Raven went in there and she's like, "Is this Kingdom of Hearts?" And I'm like, "No, it's Kingdom Hearts." First off, and I started trying to give a lore explanation, and like 2 minutes in, she's like, "Yeah, I checked out a long time ago. You could just stop." And she's like, "So that's the Sora guy then?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And she's like, "What's up with the feet?" So just like, everyone gravitates to the feet.
That Kingdom Hearts summary videos from
oh my god,
from
Barry.
This is basically so Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It's
a
so
good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts. Those
those
are so insanely hilarious.
Yeah, no, really dude, good. I low key anytime before I play a Kingdom Hearts game, I watch that video. Not only because it is actually informative, but it's fucking hilarious. Shout out to the creator there. I don't know his name.
The thing about the bees is like you could just replace this with any word and it would make just as much sense as it did before.
Yeah, dude. I mean, next year's crazy. Like I think it's crazy it's taken this long, but the fact that we're getting Final Fantasy 7 Revelations or whatever it is, and Kingdom Hearts 4 in the same year is cracked. Like
it's a cracked year for Square. Absolutely nuts. Dennis, how do we get you back in the chair to play some more Kingdom Hearts before 4 comes out?
I mean, if the Star Wars thing is real and it's not like just original trilogy slop, then I might play Kingdom Hearts again.
Oh, the Star Wars thing 100% just needs to be a contained section on the Death Star. It needs to start with their arrival on the Death Star and all the shenanigans that take place there, and it ends with the trench run. That's exactly what the Star Wars world needs to be.
That's the thing. Like I have been thinking about that. Like if they're gonna have Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts, because Star Wars is just so huge.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of the other Disney IP that they have, it's like I actually don't know what they would do. And I mean, the obvious choice is to do A New Hope, but A New Hope is kind of boring and I personally feel like it's the most boring part of Star Wars. It is like iconic in a certain way, but like
doing the trench run in the gummy ship would be so hype, dude. I'm so here for it.
I'm just picturing Sora interact with Darth Vader. And like I can't picture it in my head, but like it needs to happen.
Dude, look, this is what's gonna happen. Darth Vader is gonna be in it, and then it's gonna like you're gonna see like the silhouette of Darth Vader, and then he's gonna like walk out of the shadows, and he's gonna have one of those dumbass hoodies
of the organization. Look, hold on, Dennis. I'm gonna borrow your thing from last week. I need y'all to close y'all's eyes and picture this, because I've picked up how you should pitch the Star Wars thing, or they should reveal the Star Wars thing. It's just a black screen. It's just a black screen, and you hear Darth Vader's breathing. His lightsaber ignites, the red lightsaber. It's the only thing illuminating the screen. And then in the foreground, you don't see Sora, you don't see Donald, you don't see Goofy. You just see Sora's Keyblade lightsaber ignite, and it's a blue saber Keyblade. And that's just how they announced Star Wars is in Kingdom Hearts.
That'd be sick.
I think you just start it with the Death Star. You don't need to see Tatooine. Nothing important happens on Tatooine like that Sora needs to be involved in.
That's crazy. But okay.
You contain it to a world you find as you're floating around in the gummy ship, because they perfected that in 3. And you get like zoomed up by the Death Star, or tractor beamed in. And then you find Han and Luke, and you go through the shenanigans of the trash compactor and all that cool stuff. And then it ends like with a fight against Darth Vader. You see Obi-Wan, like curtains for Obi-Wan, and then you fight Darth Vader after while Luke and them get away. And then you meet up and do the trench run.
There you go. It's perfect.
It's perfect. That's it.
It's beautiful.
You don't have to do anything else.
Who's on your party? Is it Chewie or?
It's.
I feel like it has to be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Look, Luke is the easy
Luke
answer.
Luke is not trained in that.
Han and Chewie is the more fun answer.
True.
But also, you don't really need Han and Chewie, because Goofy is going to be a Wookiee, and
Donald's going to be a droid,
an R2 unit. His color scheme already fits an R2 unit.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
What's the art style they're gonna use for Star Wars?
It's gonna be like the Pirates for
Pirates. Yeah.
Oh exactly. Yeah, right. They did that. About that.
Oh, that's right. They did that. Are you gonna get an X-wing build for your gummy ship, and you're just gonna be able to use that for the rest of the entire game, and it's gonna be sick?
I can't wait for this game.
I was just thinking about like there's gonna be like some fucking point during the Star Wars part where Goofy goes like, "Oh yeah, the Force is going for all of us, Sora."
God, we live in the best timeline sometimes. So also sometimes the worst.
Curly, I'm picturing 6 worlds for Kingdom Hearts 4, because I think that's what we got in 3, and they're bigger worlds, so we don't get as many. What worlds are we getting?
I've thought about it, man, and I really have no idea. I think they still double down with Frozen. We're gonna get Frozen 2 somehow. I hope Moana. I hope Moana's brought in.
But they bring in the live action version of Moana.
Oh God,
absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
It's just a fully realistic The Rock.
Yeah.
I think it could be time for some Wall-E, you know? Get some Wall-E in that, John. Wally would be cool. I don't actually think that's gonna happen though.
It'd be cool.
I think
It's
we
not gonna
return to
happen.
Toy Story. I think we're gonna have a Toy Story world again.
Yeah, maybe.
They should do Mickey's Playhouse.
There's so many like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh yeah,
So we can call him a narcissist.
The clubhouse would be
Clubhouse.
insane.
Look at this
Jeez.
narcissist.
That would be hilarious.
If I had a wish list, it would be those and throw in Encanto as well. But like I feel like Encanto is too new for Kingdom Hearts. They're always way behind. That's why I'm like thinking like older-ish, but ones they haven't done yet. And obviously we're gonna get Hercules again.
Yeah. So
because we know that. So
I like a lot of those that you're talking about. So I think the 6 for me, if it is limited to 6, Olympus is a staple. You can't have a numbered Kingdom Hearts title without Olympus.
Mhm.
And it's going to return. We're going to get a return of the Colosseum. We're going to get the
I hope so. Yeah,
because
that'd be
3
cool.
not having it was a giant letdown.
That sucks.
Yeah. 2, I think Moana is going to take the place of Frozen. I don't think we get both of them because
Really?
Frozen 2 wasn't nearly as prolific as Frozen 1, and it doesn't have the standout like track that Frozen 1 had.
Have they done sequels before?
Aladdin.
Like movie sequel. Okay, so they
They
did,
did
like,
Aladdin. They did you went to Nightmare twice and that didn't even have a sequel.
Yeah, they've done 2 Pirates movies, 1 and 3. For some reason, they decided to skip 2. But yes, so
I don't agree with the Frozen take. Like that, the second movie still made $1 billion, and like they're making a third one, literally. Like,
yeah, I just think I doubt they put both of them. I think we get Moana and they leave Frozen maybe for another one. But we'll get Olympus and Frozen. Olympus and Moana, Star Wars, Coco, as we already know, and then I think we get Incredibles. I think Incredibles is an easy like team up.
See,
it just seems like so much fun.
The only reason why I don't know about Incredibles is because I feel like if they do a superhero one, they're gonna try and capitalize on Marvel license somehow.
See, I think they double down. I think we do both.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how they use the Marvel license, so like you're probably right. It's
That's
easy to do
another one
Incredibles.
that's like too big. Well, like Star Wars.
I think you just do the first Avengers. Like him just dropping in during the invasion would be awesome.
I don't think you do the MCU. I think you do like some version of what you would call the Avengers, but it's not going to be the MCU version of it. It's going to be some kind of Marvel world original.
I don't think it should be a 1-for-1 of the MCU, but I think you need to have nods towards it being like the Chitauri invasion from the first movie. It's the easiest thing to like do in a Kingdom Hearts world, I think.
Well, I feel like it would
maybe
really it would make most sense to do the MCU because all the worlds in Kingdom Hearts are based on movies.
Yeah.
So of course they would pick the
fair.
Marvel movies.
Yeah. It makes sense to me. I don't know if there's and I think it has to be Avengers. I don't know if there's a solo Marvel
could
character.
just put Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, maybe. And maybe that's like a partnership with Sony, since like Kingdom Hearts and Sony has a very like tenured history together, and you do like Marvel Spider-Man or something. That could be kind of cool, but
And Tom Holland shows up.
That'd be sick.
He's like, "Hi, Sora. I'm Spider-Man."
I'm Spider-Man. I'm a huge fan of yours. God.
But yeah, I think Finding Nemo could be kind of cool. Like, they always
did have underwater levels before, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, like low key, that's a great idea. Because like the Little Mermaid levels were fun on the first one, they sucked on the second game.
The second game is not as great. Yeah.
Going out and finding like Nemo, like that's the game. That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
What are we supposed to do, Sora? We're supposed to find Nemo.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, Sora.
Oh, yeah.
My pie in the sky.
Donald Duck is like, wah.
This guy gets it.
My pie in the sky like dream Kingdom Hearts world is Lilo and Stitch, but like in the setting of Hawaii. And
Oh.
but it's like it's not the either of the movies because we've already kind of done Stitch coming to Earth in Birth by Sleep. I want to do like they're already established on in Hawaii, and you do the cousins storyline from the TV show where all of the different cousins get
The
scattered all
different
over the different Disney
experiments.
worlds, and it's kind of like a rehash of uh, the Dalmatians from the first game.
That's a good idea. That'd be cool.
But yeah, really excited. They also announced a Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus series. An original story, which they say original story, but the character in the key art is Helgi from Dark Road. So it's really, I think this series is really just going to be used to supplant the fact that you can't play Dark Road and Union Cross anymore. So it's just going to be a way for people to get that story since they can't play the games anymore.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'll be lying if I didn't say like I'm a little disappointed that it's not just Sora.
Yeah,
And like Disney stuff. Like I thought it'd be cool to see a show where you could see the movies and shows. Like I don't know,
it would have been cool.
It's gonna be like original Kingdom Hearts stuff, right? I mean, if it's gonna be a backstory, stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's not gonna put that person in Disney Worlds, I assume. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know who Helgi is.
yeah, it's going to cover like foreteller stuff, the stuff that this new arc is supposed to be about, which is cool. I think
Yeah,
if it does well, I think we could possibly get another series following Sora's adventures, and Sora will be referenced in some way in this series. So.
yeah, for sure. I kind of liked the idea of just like a show
retelling.
that retells the games, but that is kind of boring too. So I could see why they wanted to do something different.
I was a little
check it
let
out
down
and watch
too.
it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna watch it like crazy for sure. Even if it's bad, I'm just gonna watch it.
Look, this is what they instead of the Lilo and Stitch idea that you had, Ryan.
Mhm.
They should just put a bunch of Glup Shitos from Star Wars everywhere.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I don't
It's like, wow, you found fucking Klieg Lars.
So it's like, wow, Klieg Lars.
Wow, he's the guy who bought Anakin's mom.
All right. As much as I'd love to talk about Kingdom Hearts for the next 2 hours, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. We'll go back to what was going to be the main topic of this this episode. Headline: PlayStation reboots Horizon Hunters Gathering as live service strategy struggles. This from Jason Schreier with Bloomberg. Sony Group Corporate's PlayStation division is overhauling Horizon Hunters Gathering, the online action game it announced earlier this year, following negative player feedback, according to people familiar with the company's plans. Guerrilla Games, the Amsterdam-based PlayStation subsidiary behind the Horizon franchise, has been working to reboot the game since June, said the people speaking anonymously because they were not authorized to talk publicly about the project's future. A lot of that going on lately at Sony.
Yeah.
Following poor feedback in private testing earlier this year, the plan now is to strip out the live service component and turn it into more of a traditional cooperative multiplayer game with a story mode and a far smaller scope. The game is not yet canceled, but the studio told staff in a meeting on Wednesday that they will have through December to impress executives with their next milestone. The people said many of the developers on Horizon Hunters Gathering will be reassigned to a different project that will also be evaluated at the end of the year. PlayStation declined to comment on this. Guys, what the hell?
Also,
I think-
at the end, they also note that Horizon 3 is still years away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine. This was the studio's primary focus, right?
Yeah.
So
Apparently,
it's PlayStation announced that we had 12 of these, right? And now we because of the announcement in February, we know all 12 and the state of all 12 engines. I'm just gonna, for context, I'm gonna run through each of them. Marathon and Helldivers are the only two that have seen any kind of release at this point. Well, Concord.
technically,
we don't have to count. We don't have to count Concord. And those are largely the only two that you consider any kind of win. And you can't really even give PlayStation those because Marathon has delivered with incredibly mixed reviews. And I think to this point has sold maybe 1.2 million copies. And the development time surrounding Marathon is widely viewed as like it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers was a win.
Helldivers 2 is a win for the studio, not for PlayStation. PlayStation botched the hell out of Helldivers with that stupid linking their PlayStation accounts for the PC release. And so like you had a massive hit on your hands, and you kind of tampered it or dampened it because like it could have been even bigger than it was.
Right.
Concord flopped. God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Twisted Metal all canceled, and then we had some unannounced projects. Sony Bend, Deviation Games, and London Studios. We never even found out what they were making. And then Fair Games / Break-In is like for all intents and purposes it appears to be DOA. Maybe that one saves itself, but like the tumultuous development around that game does not look promising. And then now we have Horizon, which is like on its last legs.
And I just find this so like I could have told anyone at Sony, I could have looked at this game and been like, why are you doing this? Like, okay, I think like most people when they heard of the idea of a co-op Horizon game was like, wait a minute, that sounds actually pretty sick. I would play that. And then they show it and it's like nothing like Horizon. It's like, did you not understand that what people like about Horizon is how fucking awesome the gameplay is? And then you just have different gameplay? Like,
and the art style is just
the Fortnite-ification of the art style.
Exactly. Like all they had to do and I saw this in like I think it was a comment to some post about it at some place. And the comment was like, all they had to do was take the gameplay of Horizon and replace Aloy with a player created character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like that's all they got. That's all they had to do. It's not that I love Aloy. It's not like replace Aloy because she sucks. It's like replace Aloy with someone with characters that can be in
right, because you want it to be a live service game.
Exactly. And like that's literally all they had to do. And like I would have been excited for that. Like I would have played that because I think the combat is one of the coolest things about Horizon. And it's really fun. Yeah, that would I think could have served a really cool market as well in the form of like a more accessible Monster Hunter game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we initially talked about this, like, and we went through that same list, and I just remember asking, like, why did this one make it through? Like, what?
Yeah.
Of all the projects, like, what about this one?
This one made
it actually happen.
This one
at the time when we brought it up, right? Yeah, and at that time, it seemed like it was actually going to release, and like here we are. It's like, well, it didn't. It just goes to show, like,
well, it still might.
Maybe. Well, if it does, it's not the same game.
It's not a live service game.
Yeah, which is probably good. Yeah. Like that's probably a good thing. The thing is like it just goes to show that there was no clear direction on any of this stuff. Like, if you were to like say, hey, let's make a multiplayer Spider-Man, that 100% could work. But like, what the fuck happened here? Like the fact that we had like Spider-Man couldn't do it, God of War couldn't figure it out, Last of Us didn't work out. Now this, it's just like, bro, what are we doing? Like,
the weirdest thing too, and like in all those cases you brought up, reports were that they were actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's like what happened? Like, were they not?
I'm pretty sure there were reports about the Spider-Man one. But I know for a fact that people played Last of Us online and thought it was good.
Yeah. And like this is just me being cynical, but like Was it because it was not live service enough? Was it because it wasn't going to be a recurring buy payments like cash cow? Was it, I don't know. Like, because I mean, to me, I think of a Last of Us game. I don't necessarily think of live service. I think of factions. And like, was it that like, hey, factions isn't like a thing that people are going to continuously spend money on? That's not what we want to do. Like, what happened? Like, I don't know. But like,
I think this whole thing really falls on the shoulders of Bungie more than anything, because the word was they were brought in as consultants, and that they basically said, hey, this game's not going to work, or like there was a lot of problems with Last of Us Online, and when that died,
they said that it wouldn't like live for, it wouldn't be like a forever game, and it's like,
it's fine.
Who cares?
Apparently not.
Like
that was the whole thing, is
Sony's
direction is like, we need to put out games that are going to be fucking living worlds forever and endless cash. Like, it's people are going to pay money every week on this thing until they die, like they do a Fortnite. And that was like the one goal for all these fucking games. Like, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
I feel like
who knows?
I feel like if they didn't buy Bungie, we would have had Last of Us Online.
Yeah, I agree. I think we probably would have had a few more of these
2 years ago or something like that.
And on top of that, like, and this move could be like in also in reaction to, like, you brought in Bungie to make these kind of like decisions, or to help make these decisions on these live service projects, and then they put out Marathon, and it's like, this is a really good game, but nobody's playing it because the aesthetics are very niche, and it's an extraction shooter, but like also what is it? Arc Raiders came out like just a few months before it, and kind of swept the hype away from them a little bit. This was like the team that you were banking on to help you like push your live service, and their game didn't even make it. So like, it's just a comedy of errors, like on like Sony's part, like, and maybe, you know, not all entirely their fault for some of these games that didn't like hit the way they wanted it to, but putting all this money into live service was just such a bad idea.
I mean, the direction in general was not great, and then it just wasn't executed well at all on any of these fronts. And it's a shame, because like, again, we talked about it plenty of times, but like the fact that like we're going to see Intergalactic, and that's going to be the game that we see for this entire PlayStation generation, sucks. Like, it's that used to be the reason to buy yeah. That studio used to be the reason to buy a PlayStation. Like, like, and now it's like, well, they kind of still are. I mean, I don't know if you could bank that off of one game, but like, I don't know.
I feel like the biggest issue with Sony's live service approach is that they're not. I think we talked, or no, maybe no. I don't think we didn't do the podcast back then. But like, I remember talking to people about this idea, like back when they when Concord came out. I feel like the biggest issue with Concord was that it was, to the core PlayStation fan base, it felt like, what about us? Because it had nothing for them. And like, what I said was like, what I would have done to fix Concord was to, first of all, change the character designs because they were just bad. And then add a single player campaign.
I mean, me and you played Concord? Like, we both sat there and played that game and said, hey, this game's actually really fun.
Yeah, it's fine. The character designs were completely, it was like a completely fine game. And like, I feel like how you ensure that you have the PlayStation fan base on your side is to have a single player campaign as a part of the game. And like, I was never arguing for them to be like, oh, you're gonna have to make like a 20-hour fucking campaign. Like, make like a 5-hour campaign that is mostly like a tutorial for the multiplayer, but at least there's some single player there for the people who want it.
I mean, isn't that what Call of Duty does like every year?
Exactly. Like that is the thing too. Like, everyone uses Call of Duty as their like blueprint for stuff, and they have a single player every year. Like, almost like they and like one of the years where they didn't, was like a year where Call of Duty kind of didn't do as well. Also Call of Duty isn't doing as well right now. I think that's Microsoft's fault personally. But like I just don't get it. Like I feel like with a lot of the games that we're seeing from Sony, it's like for example, they canceled Last of Us Online. And that was like a game that was basically just The Last of Us Part 2, but online. They canceled the Spider-Man online project, which was presumably also just been Spider-Man, but online. Like those would have been games that people in the fan base were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty cool.
It makes sense. Like
exactly
a Spider-Verse game. Like that fucking
and that's like what I said before. It's like when people heard about a co-op Horizon game, people were like, oh yeah, Horizon but co-op, that sounds pretty cool. And now instead it's like Fortnite-ified hero shooter Horizon.
Shooter.
And it's like, what the hell is this? We didn't like
Yeah.
I feel like it's just so easy. It's like you gotta you have this established fan base that you can exploit, and I'm going to use the word exploit because that's a word that they understand, that you can exploit to have a competitive advantage for your live service attempts, where like if you're just like a random studio trying to compete with Fortnite, you don't have any ground to stand on. You're just like throwing it out into the ether with everyone else. But
what if Jeff announces your game as the final game at the Game Awards?
Exactly. I mean, that's a great example. But Sony, you have an established fan base. Pander to them.
Yeah.
Make a single player campaign for those people, because guess what? Even if they're all like, oh, I only care about single player, they all play something online.
Yep.
That's probably why they're paying for PlayStation Plus to begin with. Use the single player as like a Trojan horse to sell them on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like it is so easy.
You were clearly investing in a story for this franchise anyway, with these like weekly drops of the cinematics, which were really cool, by the way. The first one they dropped, I was like, I'm kind of in on this. And it's the reason I hopped into the open beta or whatever. And then it just died in 2 weeks. It was so crazy. We didn't even get a second cinematic, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, the game as it was should have been free as well, to some degree, or at least for PS Plus or something, charging that price of entry for a live service game is just like what the fuck are y'all doing kind of deal. If it had the single player campaign, then the prices make sense then, because again, like Call of Duty, you buy that game, you play the single player, it funnels you to the multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, the model already exists. What the fuck are y'all trying to reinvent it for?
But also, like, to that point, like, as much crap as I want to give them for all of these failures, like, I don't want to see Insomniac making a live service game. I want Last of Us 3. I don't want Last of Us Online. I don't. If we're going to get a Twisted Metal game, return to Twisted Metal and actually give me a Twisted Metal game. I don't need a live service Twisted Metal game. I don't know what Deviation, Sony Bend, London Studios were working on, but Sony Bend, I want to know what they're doing. I don't. Again, we don't need 12 live service games. Just honestly, you pulled in Bungie. Screw Marathon. Make Destiny 3. Destiny is a cash cow. Don't let up on it. Like, Destiny 3 should have just been greenlit the second they bought Bungie.
They just like ended support for Destiny 2, right?
Yeah. Well, the idea is that they're ramping down production. They ended support on Destiny 2, and they scaled down the studio. And the rumors are that they're going to scale back up, and that Destiny 3 is the next thing for Bungie. And that's going to be it. Like, if this doesn't work, Bungie's probably done.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't, like, and I don't, I'm
also,
not a game developer,
just
but
quickly,
why would you?
They also, like, I think it was 1 or 2 projects that they basically spun off out of Bungie as well as new studios.
Oh.
Why would you sunset Destiny 2 before Destiny 3 is like imminent? I just don't. Again, I'm not a developer. I don't understand.
They're supporting Marathon right now. You can't support 2 live service games.
I mean, I guess, but like, what does ending your support for that do for you? Like, if Marathon isn't a success that they expect it to be, then what now? Like, Do they just hang it up? Like, what are we doing? I mean, like you said, maybe they'll ramp back up for Destiny 3 and everything will be fine, but it to me it just doesn't make sense. And also, like, to bring this back to Gorilla, like, I don't think we see this game again. Like,
that was going to be my next question. Yeah.
The report of, like, yeah, we'll give you till December. Like, nah, bro, it ain't happening. Like, especially because you're allocating those team members to other things now. It's like, so you're going to scale down, restart, reboot, or whatever, and then we're supposed to come up with a game by December. Like, there's no shot. If they started this in June, like,
I also feel like like, I can see a situation where this game survives, but like the criteria is that they have through December to impress executives. Executives were presumably impressed by whatever this game was.
Yeah.
Like, the poor feedback is from testing and the fan response.
yeah.
It's mostly going to be about what's your expectation for this? Like, what does impress mean exactly? Like, I think it has a shot at releasing. It doesn't have to be ready by December, right? They just have to have something that's going to impress the execs. And, like, just from playing, like, what this game is now going to have to be scoped to be, like a Splatoon Raiders, which just came out and, like, you know, set my world on fire. You know, like, if they can accomplish something to that degree, like, that follow-up question: does the change in format make y'all more or less likely to play this game if it releases?
More likely. Like, I read this and it was like a story-driven co-op game. Like, sure, yeah, definitely. That sounds way more interesting than the live service thing that I had before.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, same here. To Dennis's point, though, it's like, we want to impress executives. Like, who's that? Like,
yeah.
Would they be more likely to give the green light for a game that's not the live service? I don't have faith in that. But again, like, who knows? Like, if it is more like a smaller Splatoon Raiders style game, that could happen. Yeah, I'd be excited for it, honestly, because I wasn't really excited for this game previously. I still don't think it should be a Horizon game. I just don't vibe with that. The tones are all over the place. The art styles, the gameplay mechanics, none of it screams Horizon to me. So, like, I don't know.
What I would do if I was in charge of rebooting Hunter's Gathering, what I would do is I would keep the art style. I don't think it was too bad, actually. Just to, like, salvage something from this game. I would immediately look at Splatoon Raiders and be like, okay, this is the blueprint that we're gonna go after, and I would revert to the original Horizon gameplay. Maybe salvage some of the abilities and stuff that they had as, like, an alt attacks or something like that you could keep around, because I would keep the different characters, but use them, use their uniqueness by adjusting parameters with the original Horizon gameplay, essentially. That's kind of the direction that I would go in.
Hunting giant robots with your homies? That sounds awesome. Sign me up today. Speaking of Splatoon Raiders, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next story. Headline: Nintendo reveals digital sales up 90% compared to last year, and Switch 2 units topped 23 million in sales from Wesley LeBlanc at Game Informer. Nintendo has released its latest financial earnings report covering the first quarter of the fiscal year, which encompasses April through June 2026. In it, the company has revealed the digital sales revenue is up 90% year over year, that the Switch 2 sold nearly 4 million units in those 3 months, and that, unsurprisingly, Mario Kart World continued to be the best-selling game on the console. Nintendo's latest fiscal report show Mario Kart World has sold 15.39 million units since release, Donkey Kong Bonanza at 4.78, Pokemon Legends ZA at 3.99, Pokopia at 3.68, Kirby Air Riders at 1.9, Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 edition at 1.15, Yoshi and Star Fox were left off the list. Nintendo did say that they sold steadily. I think that was the word that was used, but they are both under 1 million copies as of the time that the fiscal year ended, which I think you said Curly was only like 5 days for Star Fox, or 5 or 6 days. That being said,
you about to get punched.
Tomodachi Life, however, in a month's time span, sold over 8 million copies. So like,
hell yeah,
that's absolutely bonkers. And then not included in the report because it's not part of the fiscal year, but Splatoon Raiders doesn't have any like concrete sales figures, but it was reported to have sold over 500,000 in Japan alone in its first week. So, I mean, insane numbers for Nintendo. Nintendo's gonna Nintendo as usual. But my question, Curly, I'm gonna let you take the stage here because like Star Fox and Yoshi are kind of the things we have to worry about here. How are we feeling?
I'm mostly just pissed that this was roped in as part of the numbers, and I get why it is, right? Because it's like the most recent Nintendo games, but like the fact that this made the rounds, and I just had to deal with hate train bullshit on my socials and stuff because like, first off, I'm mad that like it wasn't the other way around where it's like, wow, Star Fox sold over 1 million copies in 5 days. I'm mad that didn't happen. Understand why that didn't happen, but also just like the haters get that little taste of a win. You know what I mean? They're like, ha, that's why you don't put out a remake at this price point. I'm like, you fucking idiot. It's at a lower price point and it is a like fantastic remake. Like it's, oh man, it sucks and it pisses me off because like I wish that they did get that morsel from me. Because like, granted, like, come on, 5 days. I'm sure that the game sold fine. Do I wish it sold more? Yeah, because I'm a fucking Star Fox sicko, especially Star Fox 64. Let me just implore you guys that the remake kicks ass, and I'm sure, and if it doesn't, I'll cry. The next reports will show that it's at least 1 mil above. Like it's probably gonna sell a couple million. I hope. God, please. It's like if I don't get a new Star Fox game, I'm gonna crash out. I'm upset just mainly at the fact that this is a story at all. Like, and it's not. It's just the hate train getting to me, cutting through on my algorithms, and it's pissing me off. Yoshi deserves better. It straight up does, because like Dennis, you and I have talked about it before. This is a pretty unique game, just in general, design wise, and I can understand maybe why like it doesn't really have a target audience because it is skewed to younger players, but like I would employ older players to give it a shot, just because like it is an extremely unique platformer in just exploration and just kind of playing with the world and creatures. It's a very interesting game. That being said, the fact that it does skew younger is weird because younger kids have a harder time grasping what the game asks for, and it's a very reading heavy game. So it's a bit of a mismatch. I'm not as upset that one
well, I
isn't
also
doing as well.
think I also think that Yoshi is more of an evergreen game than Star Fox.
For sure,
because
yeah.
I the only reason I'm saying that about Star Fox is because I'm assuming they're gonna make sequels for Star Fox.
Mhm.
While they're
Oh, God, they
probably
better.
not gonna. I don't think we're getting
They
another
better.
Yoshi game for a while.
Not
Yeah.
till Switch 3 or whatever their next
Yeah,
console.
like
Seems to be once
that's
per
gonna
console
be the
cycle.
Yoshi game for this generation.
Mhm.
And like I have zero doubts that the Yoshi game is like not gonna sell um millions of copies eventually. Like it's going to keep selling. And but I do worry a little bit about Star Fox. I do think wasn't there like rumors that they had another Star Fox project in development?
Yeah, there was 2 in development. Yep.
I think we're still gonna get that because Nintendo doesn't really change their mind on a whim like that. So I think we're still gonna get that game, and I think that's gonna be like the real test on if they're gonna continue Star Fox or not. And I could see Star Fox becoming like if the next game sells well, or well enough. Also, Nintendo just has way more realistic expectations for sales as well.
Looking at you, Square.
Dude, for real.
I could see Star Fox becoming more of like a Splatoon-like franchise in their lineup, where Nintendo doesn't seem to care about releasing multiple Splatoon games on one console, which is quite unusual
sell through the
actually
roof.
for their what they do. So yeah, I think Star Fox is also like a franchise that's more story driven. It's more like conducive to sequels as well. While with like a Mario game, it's more like, yeah, there's a story here, but it's like,
yeah.
Or I think for corporate Nintendo, it's more of like a replaceable thing than
yeah.
This is the Mario game for the Nintendo Switch family of systems.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have a 2D Mario, a 3D Mario, a Mario Kart, and then a bunch of Mario spin-off titles and stuff. But we're not gonna get. Well, I mean, the Wii had two, which was just a fascinating anomaly. But
I think they released 4 Zelda games on Switch.
Bro, Zelda, they put one out every year nowadays. Like, it's crazy.
Every year. Yep, exactly. I think like most of this is a non-story, like to your point, Curly. Like, I do think, like, in terms of like there are a couple, like, I feel like there's missed opportunity here, because you did have the hype of the Star Fox appearance in the Mario Galaxy movie, and we talked about like the synergy between that Miyamoto talked about between the games and the movies, and you had this amazing like anime Star Fox in the movie that the entire world popped off for. I felt like, and you could have capitalized on that, and instead you did like a very different artistic approach to a remake. Whereas if you had something more in that art style for a Star Fox game, it would have. I feel like it would have sold like hotcakes. Like you wouldn't be talking about this at all. And granted, Star Fox may end up being a decently selling game, but like, I think if we were going that approach with it, and there was more synergy between the art styles, this would have had a much bigger like attachment rate when it launched. And this would have been
what they should have done is what they should have done with Donkey Kong Bonanza, where while the anime cutscene was playing, they should have, then after that's done, they should have a pop-up like Star Fox out now on Nintendo Switch.
Holy shit.
In the middle of the movie, just announced that there is a new Star Fox game.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, anybody that I've seen that actually played the game are like, actually, like, the character designs do fit these characters. Like, I mean, once you actually spend time with it, everything does gel, and like it's not jarring like it was in the original trailer at all. And also, like, I feel like most people's hang up with it is the fact that like Star Fox is an on-rail shooter and it's technically a 30 to an hour long game. I feel like that's the hurdle people don't get over.
Sure. I think I'm not talking about Star Fox's credibility as a good game, because I don't doubt that the remake's a good game. I trust your opinion on that wholeheartedly. All I'm saying is, like, from a branding and a synergy standpoint, you had people super hype about Star Fox from the movie, and that didn't translate over to the game because the art styles clashed. And people probably looked at that art style and were a little put off from the jump because of how awesome he looked and acted in the movie.
Question: what does Ace think about the designs in the Star Fox?
He didn't really. He didn't really
the movie.
Yeah. He loved it. He didn't really feel off put by it at all. Like, honestly, well, when we first watched the trailer, he was like, "Whoa, he's a real fox," and I was like, "Yeah, this one," and that was it. And like, and from then on, that was just Star Fox for a kid. But like, as far as like the branding and confusing our styles, I don't think like younger audiences don't care. Like, he's still recognizable, and like, honestly though, like, if we're being real, like, he didn't like love the Star Fox game just because it I feel like the game does skew older. Like flying controls in general are more advanced than like a easy platform or whatever, and tonally and story wise, it is a more mature uh, narrative than Nintendo usually puts out, which is probably why I think in the end the different character designs and art style kind of fit the vibe of 64 better anyway. But I mean, I'm kind of with you. I wish it did have a more like anime art style. I think would
It
have been
could be a
sick.
moot point if there is a second game that does
Yeah,
match that art style, because I
yeah,
do
it
think that
might,
this,
but
yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
Another thing that's kind of interesting to me about this, and I'm curious how y'all feel about this because this might be outlandish, but the DK Bonanza number, uh,
Hmm.
4.78 million. Now, it just me being the ignorant person that I am, is Nintendo going to look back at the idea to launch with DK Bonanza with regret? The order that they're going to put out, they're going to do DK Bonanza and then 3D Mario. Odyssey sold, I think, 12 million copies in its first year.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to wish that they had swapped those placements and had DK Bonanza come out when they had a larger install base for people to gravitate to a new DK game?
I don't think so at all. I think Nintendo had their expectations right where it landed. Like I don't think Nintendo put Donkey Kong Bonanza out thinking like, oh man, this has got to do like Mario numbers because this is our lead in title. And the 3D Mario is still going to sell that much. It doesn't matter if it was released or not. In fact, I think it's probably smarter because when 3D Mario comes out, there's just that many more Switch 2s out.
Yeah, but
Like,
people are going to buy a console for 3D Mario. Like you could
yeah,
push
but
that
like
to
people
push
already
the
have the
install base.
console before then.
The Switch 2 is not selling bad.
No,
Yeah,
you're
that's my
absolutely
point.
right. You're not wrong,
Yeah.
and that's because
And
they
I
sold
think
Mario Kart.
like Nintendo, they're smart. They know they knew Donkey Kong Bonanza wasn't gonna sell as well as a
Yeah.
3D Mario game. Like they have those expectations like adjusted for.
And also,
to
that
that-
number is not anything to shake a stick at. That's
No,
Yeah,
it's not. It's a great number.
No,
That's
no,
the
like anyone else would
best-selling
be
Donkey
like
Kong game in
that's
1 year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just talking about, like, I'm not talking about this being a bad number for DK. That's
Yeah,
5 million is 5 million, and it's going to grow over the course of the lifetime of the
Yeah.
Switch too. I'm sure, but like, I was just thinking, like, we kind of talked about this when they launched with Mario Kart as an $80 title and DK was a 70, and we kind of questioned, like, why is that the case? And I think like the proof's kind of in the pudding here with the numbers of this is why they viewed Mario Kart as an $80 title and they viewed DK as a $70 title, because 15 million versus 5 million, they knew people were going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, get as
I
many people to
100%.
play.
I 100% expect the 3D Mario game to be $80.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, pricing DK at the same as a Mario Kart game wouldn't have done it justice. Just because, I mean, like, let's just be real. I love Donkey Kong, and I think Bonanza is just one of my favorite games. But like, he's not that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
He might be.
Nintendo knows. Well, I mean, like, I don't think that's the goal. Like, I mean, like, yeah, he's a huge Nintendo character, but they were never going to expect him to pull in Mario numbers. Like, it's just he's not that guy. And again, I think it is smarter this way because, like you said, yeah, people are going to buy a Switch for the 3D Mario, but like again, the install base is already built up, and we're getting in 3D Mario. That gets people to A, buy the Switch for the Mario, or B, people that have it to buy Mario. The people that didn't play Donkey Kong are then gonna want to play it when they have their Switch. Like, this is all just, I mean,
like
easy money.
Yeah, and like Bonanza is an evergreen title. Like that's gonna keep just amassing sales over the course
Also,
of the Switch 2's life cycle.
There's a high possibility that 3D Mario is going to hit at a higher price point with the Switch 2, with the cost of manufacturing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to cost them units sold if the Switch 2 is $100 more expensive when people have to go buy 3D Mario?
I mean, for sure, but
you don't think it? I think it'll affect it in a maybe a minuscule way. I don't.
I mean, it'll affect it to some extent. But yeah, I just hope we get out of the RAM apocalypse as soon as possible. Okay,
yeah. I mean, I don't think it's gonna like hurt it. And to be fair, like $100 more, it's still probably the most
cheapest
affordable console out. Like, I mean, it does make it harder to buy for like your kids for like a Christmas gift. So like, you're probably right. But like, who could have foreseen all that coming? Like,
Yeah.
But like, I think it was interesting. I think they announced that they're launching in Indonesia, and they are launching both Switch 1 and Switch 2. I don't think they would have done that if Switch 2 wasn't as expensive as it is right now. Like,
That's
it's
a good
clear
point,
that
yeah.
Nintendo wanted it to be cheaper than this. So
Yeah.
they're keeping the Switch 1 around, even when launching in an entirely new territory. There's also speculation that the reason why there's launching Switch 1 there is because they are like 5 million copies away from beating PS2.
Yeah.
5 million
Wait,
units.
is it
until
really?
Sony finds like 15 million more sales
Yeah.
magically.
Yeah. People are joking about when Nintendo announces new Switch 1 sales numbers, Sony finds another few million units of PS2 sold in the couch cushions. One thing that I think is just so strange about the conversation around 3D Mario and Bonanza is that like so many people don't seem to understand that it's the same studio that made those games, and like 3D Mario is not halfway in development right now. Like, they started making that when Bonanza was done.
Yeah.
Like, I highly doubt they probably had a small team figuring out what the game was going to be so they could kind of pivot immediately into it when Bonanza was done. But like, I don't think there's a world where the 3D Mario game has been in real production for longer than a year.
Isn't there like heavy speculation that 3D Mario's next year?
I actually kind of disagree a little bit.
I think that the speculation comes from the fact that people don't seem to understand that it was the same studio.
I feel like Bonanza, like Nintendo's kind of weird where they seem to like to just sit on games. I feel like Bonanza was one of those cases where Bonanza was probably done a lot sooner than we like think and expect, especially because I suspect that the Switch 2 was going to come out earlier than it did anyway. All this is speculation, of course, but like I feel like they probably are further into 3D Mario than we would suspect from a normal turnaround for that studio, for sure.
Yeah, no, that is possible, and that would mean it's further in development. But I also think they're probably gonna take 3, 4, maybe even 5 years to make that game.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not, but maybe.
If it's next year's absolutely correct. When I started hearing the rumors from other outlets that I read through or listen to, I didn't know what it was based on. Like, I don't think we've heard any. I don't know what the rumblings about 3D Mario next year are, but they kind of seem substantiated. So, other standouts from this list, like Tomodachi Life. We got to talk about that just a little bit. Like 8 million copies sold for Tomodachi Life is just
fucking
cracked.
love that. I love that so much. I still want to play Tomodachi Life. But yeah, like, I love the fact that such a insanely weird game like Tomodachi Life sells that much. And I think that really proves, because Tomodachi Life is also not like an established IP in any way. Like, there was a game on 3DS. And
that's what's weird too. Is like we're getting old, y'all.
Yeah.
We're now seeing kids that were nostalgic for Tomodachi getting that in their adult lives and can buy that game now. That's a weird thing to think about, right?
It's so cool though. I can't wait to see what else has that Tomodachi effect going forward.
Yeah. But I feel like this really shows Tomodachi Life selling 8 million copies really shows that you can you can make anything interesting if you just fucking commit.
Yeah.
And Tomodachi, like that game commits to the bit, dude. Like,
Bro, it does.
all the fucking way.
It's a weird game, like you said, and man, I love it for it. And yeah, it's just perfectly memey enough to like have that like cultural zeitgeist. Like you could share it with your friends because like you literally create your friends and be like, I made this guy say this thing about a fish in his ass or whatever, and it's just like, what? Then like suddenly you just got everybody talking about fish in their butts. It's crazy. But yeah, this game's weird. It's awesome that it sold this well. I think it lends probably well to it having that 3DS game, and those kids are now grown up buying games. Shocking though, like 8 million in that long, but I think it probably is partly due to the fact that it is also a Switch 1 title, and we don't see that often these days, right?
Yes, that it is also a Switch 1 title indeed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Switch 2 exclusive. It doesn't even have a Switch 2 version, which is really strange to me.
Yeah, so like that also plays probably a big part of it. I mean, the Switch 1, we were literally just talking about it, is like one of the highest selling consoles of all time, and a lot of people can't afford to upgrade or don't care to. And like, if you release a new Switch game that has any kind of zeitgeist around it, yeah, it's gonna fucking print money.
Yeah.
And then the other standout from this list is just Pokemon doing Pokemon things.
Mhm.
Pokopia, I think so. This report said 3.68 million. I believe Pokopia since has crossed the 5 million mark, which
Wow.
insane. And then Pokemon Legends ZA is almost at 13 million units sold, like globally. So it's just, again, biggest IP in the world, like by far, and it just continues to just rake in money. The Gen 10 is going to absolutely destroy next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also run into that same exact argument of like, well, ZA had a Switch 1 version too.
Sure.
The Wind and Waves will not. So we'll see, because I mean, yeah, dude, it's gonna sell gangbusters. It's gonna sell consoles, but I don't know if it's gonna hit 13 million in a year. But it probably will.
I think it's possible. I mean, Mario Kart World sold that much, so I think it's
True.
possible.
Yeah,
for it to
and it
reach
is a
something
new
like that.
gen. No, it absolutely will, actually, now that I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah, like as you said, like that game is
Oh.
gonna sell Switch 2s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. Dude, we get that next year. Next
We get
year.
that next year.
Next year's wild, y'all.
Next year's nuts, dude. That's a holiday release next year, I would imagine.
We actually talked
Yeah.
in our Discord. I love the joke Dennis made where he's like, every gamer every year is like, bro, next year is going to be the best year for gaming. It is just true.
Yeah,
It happens.
Ryan said like 2028 is gonna be the best year ever, or something like that.
2027.
Oh yeah, 2027. And I wrote, insert year is gonna be insert next year is gonna be the best year.
Every time,
Every
bro.
game.
Okay, but like, this one is it though, you know?
Yeah, but like that's what we say every year.
I'll be honest, like I have said that I feel like every year for the past like probably 5 years of like this next year is gonna be the best year ever. But like Kingdom Hearts 4 and the end of the FF7 trilogy, like I don't
It
understand
really
how
is
I
a
could,
Ryan ass year.
how could I ever like top that? And we could possibly get God of War and Intergalactic. Like if those both drop next year, like I'm not gonna have the money to play games next year, man. Speaking of games that are about to take my money, let's move on to our final topic. Our most potentially our biggest topic for potential discourse for tonight. Headline: Preview roundup for Insomniac's Wolverine have hit the internet. This by Stephen Talby at Push Square. Hands-on previews have begun coming in for Marvel's Wolverine, Sony's big PS5 exclusive, launching in just over a month's time. The game has looked pretty promising in the few glimpses we've seen so far, and these write-ups are largely very positive, painting a picture of another superhero blockbuster action adventure from Insomniac Games. From what I've read, the game differentiates itself from the Marvel Spider-Man by adopting a linear game structure and focusing more on character and narrative. It also has a combat system that's more direct, in line with Wolverine's character. His brutal efficiency turns into bloodthirsty recklessness as you build up his rage meter. A sentiment I've seen in a handful of previews is that the game is very good in many respects, but isn't reinventing the wheel. It seems to be doing a great job of putting you in that role and will likely tell a decent superhero story featuring fellow mutants Sabretooth, Mystique, and Jean Grey. But it doesn't sound like it's going to push any real boundaries. Just some headlines from some other gaming outlets. Eurogamers, ferocious, destructive, and cinematic, but a little predictable. GameSpot, the satisfaction of combat is what I left thinking most about. Games Radar, Insomniac has crushed my fears of a post Spider-Man slump. And then IGN, Insomniac knows how to make a hell of a superhero game. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. Curly, my first question, what the hell is Dennis's problem?
Dude, just look at him over there with a stupid little smirk, a Swedish little baby face. Like, look at that guy. He just loves poo poo and everything I love. Just that's his whole thing. His whole thing is he says Curly likes it or Curly's excited for it. Let me just talk about how it's trash, how it's ass and trash. I mean, listen, like we've talked about it on the show several times. I'm excited for Wolverine. I think it looks good. The previews don't really move the needle for me one way or the other, because it's exactly what I kind of expected. I didn't really go into from the moment we saw him pull out those claws at the bar and we see Insomniac's making a Wolverine game. This is exactly what I wanted. I said, man, I hope they don't do open world. I hope it's more linear. I hope that it's a hyper violent combat system, and I hope that it tells a cool dark narrative. I mean, Logan is a depressing character, so I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of really sad boy moments and just badassness. Yeah. And then like we saw the last state of play or whatever, and they showed off that it's going to have some cool set pieces and whatnot. And some of the like just interesting combat stuff where he's interacting with the environment and just like the brutalness of it, man. I'm in. Yeah, I'm sold. The previews again didn't move the needle for me one way or the other. I am excited that it seems more X-Men focused than I expected, though the X-Men don't exist, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah, X-Force focused or Team X or something like that is what it's focused
not
on.
Just a Wolverine on his island game. It's like, no, we're embracing the Wolverine with these other characters you know and love from X-Men. Like, yeah.
How much of the previews did you watch?
I watched a lot of just random Instagram reels and stuff, impressions, and then like I saw a lot of the discourse too. It seemed, not saying that Dennis is just jumping on a hate train, because he's given legitimate criticisms of it and why he doesn't like it. I've seen a lot of hate train about this stuff, like clips of people just being like, man, look at this gameplay, and it's a guy holding forward on the controller for like 8 seconds because he's like running, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's every video game with the chase scene.
It's not hold run chase scene. It's the scene where he's running through that like field or whatever, where there's a bunch of shooting and explosions around him
after he drops out of the plane.
Bro, I haven't seen.
I think that's the one that I saw, but like it's literally the character running, and they're upset because you hold the forward button for 8 seconds before you press jump or claw or whatever. And I'm like, this is every video game ever, bro. What are we talking about? And like, just like people complaining about the design, like I think he looks fine. I think he looks cool. He looks awesome. I like the voice actor that's playing him. I don't know. It just seems like people are like selling it like in a woke way. Like they're just like, oh, they fucking babied my Wolverine and woke him. And I'm like, have y'all ever like picked up an X-Men comic? Or like, have y'all ever like watched an X-Men movie? Like, X-Men's woke. It is. It's what the fuck it is, bro. Like, what are we even talking about right now? And like, yeah, Logan is a brutal character, but like being upset to that degree because like he's handsome is so stupid to me. I don't know. Like, look at Hugh Jackman. The man is gorgeous. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I absolutely can get down and understand some of the criticisms. Like some people being upset, like it doesn't seem to be pushing boundaries. It doesn't seem to be revolutionizing anything. I guess me personally, not really what I expected, not really bothering me, I guess. I'm just kind of hoping to have a good superhero game and be Wolverine for fucking 8 to 10 hours and have a good time.
Here. Man, so there's a lot of like spoilery stuff that I guess we could kind of get into with these previews. I don't want to delve too much into it, unless y'all are game for that. But like the stuff that I've looked at has only like added to my hype. There is a lot of like I have seen the hate train, but it does seem to be coming mostly from like influencers and not really like industry insiders or people who like because there was 2 groups that were invited to this preview event.
I gotta just clean my algorithms or something, man, because the negativity is so just disheartening and just I hate it.
I listened to a few of the reviews, IGN's review, Kind of Funny's review, a few other outlets previews. I am sorry, Dennis. My apologies.
It's a preview.
It's a review of a preview. You know, they're reviewing their time with the preview.
A review is like a it's like a protected term.
Is it?
I mean, like a preview is literally like
it's basically is like
I don't know if it actually is.
But I mean, it's pretty much as close as you can get to a protected term. I feel
that's fair enough. But I'll just I'm gonna prepend a P at the beginning of that word. If I say review, just know that there's a P, a silent P there.
Or just say it.
P.
Yeah,
I could, but that doesn't piss you off as much. But the previews, it was 2.5 hours, and the game is rumored to be roughly like a 15-hour game. And like I don't know how like you can get a decent impression from 2.5 hours. And I think the biggest takeaways that I'm seeing as far as negatives are the boss fight that you get to see at the end of the preview event, which I don't know if you saw that, Curly, but
yeah, I saw it.
I can agree that boss fight looks a little unimaginative. Yeah. Like, which I mean, again, I don't. What I got to see of that boss fight, I don't know if it changes in the second phase or if there is a second phase or what happens after the robots just kind of bashing his hand down or whatever. But everything outside of that looks awesome. And to your point, the people like complaining online are talking about like the zip line. Where it's like it looks like the zip line is at his wrists instead of him actually using the claws, and I'm just like, shut up, just shut up. Like in 007 First Light, he doesn't even press the button to open the door. Like what do we like?
Yeah, and to your point on the boss fight, like I guess maybe I'm biased. Like I was mostly just excited about what we were fighting and how it looked.
Yeah,
and I thought it was cool. Like I don't know, like. Yeah, I get from a gameplay perspective, it's like been there, done that. But me, I was just kind of hyped, like, oh man, this is awesome. We're seeing this in a video game at this production level. Like, I don't know. Like, like maybe that is some like X-Men bias on me and stuff. So I don't know. But then again, this game's made for me because I love X-Men. So
yeah. Another thing, like outside of like the little bitty nitpicky things on the boss fight and the claw thing, everything else like looks incredible. The set pieces look really cool. The vocal performances I think stand out as top notch so far to me. And the cast, the what they announced. I don't want to announce who he's playing, but Troy Baker's in this game, and the character he's playing is hella hype, dude. Like I am super excited for that.
That's what I mean by I didn't expect it to be so X-Men.
He's played, Joel Miller.
Like I guess I don't know what I expected he would be fighting and stuff and whatnot, but I don't know, it's taking a lot of cool boxes.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Dennis, we've talked enough. The floor is yours, sir.
No, I am just so like fundamentally uninterested in this game. And like as Curly said, like I'm not hopping on a hate train. In fact, I've been quite negative on this game since like the first time we saw it. Well, not that first one in like the bar, which was like fucking a billion years ago.
You were pretty hyped then.
Yeah, that one I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I was also like pretty much immediately after like, why are they making more Marvel games? Like just go back to fucking Ratchet and Clank or whatever. But like for me, I've been critical of the Spider-Man games ever since the first one, in the way where I don't think any of the Spider-Man games are bad. It is just I just think they are not really trying to be a Spider-Man game. Where it's like when I was like, oh, they're gonna make a Spider-Man game. It's like, oh, how can you explore the feeling of Peter Parker's dual persona situation in gameplay? And I start thinking about like, okay, what if you did something like a persona style kind of scheduling system, in a way where it's like events are happening and you gotta like pick how to spend your time, or like that maybe it's not like a slot based way that it's like in persona, but it's like more real time, where it's like, oh, you're out and about and like um trying to be fucking Rhino or whatever, and then you realize like, oh, I'm late to my date with Mary Jane or whatever. And it's like that is the core of Spider-Man slash Peter Parker as a character, and that part isn't expressed through gameplay.
No, the part is expressed through narrative.
Yes, but that's what movies do. In a video game, you can express these things through gameplay. And that is what makes video games unique. And like, in fact, that kind of struggle that Peter faces in all of his stories is actually quite easy to express in a gameplay context. And that's what I felt was so disappointing, where it's like, this is just a movie story in an open world. It's just linear, and like he's struggling with all these same things, but I am not struggling with that. I am looking at this realistically approximate Peter Parker, who they then changed the face of for some reason. And
Still don't
like
like that.
like I'm like, but it would have been so much cooler if I had to change that. Like, imagine a situation where you would have to figure out why the player would even want to do this in the first place, but be Peter Parker. Just walk around New York as Peter Parker. I'm sure you could figure out a way to make that something the player wants to do, instead of just forcing them into that situation. And then the fucking Green Goblin swings by. What do? You can't just put the mask on in front of everybody. You gotta figure out, how do I get to a position where I can change into Spider-Man? And like, I think all of these ideas, these are just raw ideas. They have not been refined at all in a bunch of design discussions and all this, but all of this, I think, sounds like such a more interesting video game that actually deals with the struggles of Peter Parker as a character, that is like famously part of his character. It's like, another thing is like, oh, he always struggles to pay rent, and like all they do in the first Spider-Man game is like, in the first cutscene, he has like, oh, look, he has to pay his rent, and then there's like not even a factor in the game at all ever again. Like, imagine if you actually had money and you had to pay rent. Like, that's a gameplay mechanic, and that's like, I think there's so many more interesting ways that you can express this through the gameplay, and that's what I was disappointed by with the game, was Spider-Man. But looking past that, I still found the swinging to be really fun, and I spent hours and hours and hours just swinging around New York in that game. But the other parts of the game I felt was like serviceable enough that I didn't stop playing, or that I like it like got me through the game enough to experience the story. And I think the story in the first game is pretty good. I was really invested
Pretty good's
in this.
crazy.
I mean, I was invested in that story, and I liked like it was a well done story. Again, like I think you could have done something more interesting with a video game context, but the story, in if you ignore that idea and just like, oh, this is a AAA game where you're not gonna try anything unique and interesting, like yeah, it's a good it was a good game, you know. Um, and then they just kept kind of, in a lot of ways, just copy pasting the game again 2 more times and like just changed the story. And like as they just kept going, I felt like this is just kind of the same game again. I am like interested in the characters. I like the characters, the versions of the characters that they have in these games. Like I'm invested on that angle, and the swinging only got better, especially in Spider-Man 2. I mean, the swinging is so insanely good in Spider-Man 2. So like that kind of kept me in the game, but like there are so many moments in those games where I'm like, why are you, what is this? Like, what is Insomniac's insistence on continuing to do a bunch of fucking weird ass, completely pointless QuickTime events? Like, it is. QuickTime
It's
events
not
have
an
been
Insomniac exclusive thing. QuickTime events are just a thing in games.
I mean, for like the past 2 decades, people have been like, QuickTime events, I don't know about this. They're pretty uninteresting and boring, actually. And I don't see any developer who just keeps insisting on using QuickTime events the way they do, like Insomniac. Like QuickTime events was pretty like prevalent through all of video gaming, like maybe 10 years ago, but Insomniac has continued to use them the same way. Like, of course, QuickTime events are in other games as well, but in most situations, they are used way more naturally in ways that just makes a lot more sense. And also, like, a form of QuickTime event, it's kind of where it's like you don't even realize it's a QuickTime event because they're using the same buttons that are used in gameplay anyway. Like I don't know, in a situation like God of War or whatever, where you have to like hit something or whatever, they'll use like they use the hit button instead of just like, oh, press X or whatever, because that just makes sense. But like the way that they use them, like I saw the PlayStation posted a clip for Wolverine. I promise I'm not gonna keep fucking tangenting forever, but like they posted a clip where Wolverine takes his claws out and starts screaming. And like that clip itself felt like emblematic of everything I didn't like about Wolverine. Because that is a cutscene. That is a cutscene that I'm assuming has a lot of emotional weight. It's like it's a cool scene where he like puts out his claws and he like screams. And then for some fucking reason, they slow down and you have to press R2 and L2. Why? Actually, why do I have to do? No, it is not. It's just like it is so lame. And like if you look at like, for example, like their QuickTime events is also like so insanely lame, where they're not QuickTime events at all, really. There's no fail state. If you don't press the button, the game slows down to a crawl until you press the button. Like you can see multiple clips of this happening back in, Diego agrees with me, back in like Spider-Man Miles Morales in the original Spider-Man or whatever, where it's like, oh, you gotta press R2 before the fucking whoever kills this fucking civilian, and then it's like, and then it just hangs there until you press the button. That's not a QuickTime event. That's just press a button to continue watching this cutscene.
Okay, but like, okay, so you're
It's like,
talking.
for example,
you-
like back in the day, you have like, I mean, there's this hilarious one there's this hilarious quick time event from the movie video game Spider-Man 3, where Spider-Man has to like swing out of something, and he just goes forward like this, and if you don't press the button, he just face plants on the ground. And I mean, that's hilarious, dude. Like, that's great. They at least put in something that happens if you fail. But okay, so back to off the tangent, back to Wolverine. So when I have looked at Wolverine, what I see is a game that has all of the things that I think is serviceable at best in the Spider-Man games, and none of the things that kept me actually playing. Again, the story could still be incredible. We'll see from when the game is actually reviewed. That's why review is a term that is protected.
This guy.
We'll see what people say about when that game is being reviewed, and like the story could still be incredible, which I kind of doubt, because I think the story in both Miles Morales and especially Spider-Man 2 was lacking. They were like serviceable,
Yeah,
but I don't think they were as good as the first one. I don't know. I feel like they only got worse.
I actually really liked Miles' story.
Yeah, I thought Miles
Spider-Man
Morales'
2,
story
I'll
was
give
great.
you.
Yeah, Miles was like good, but you started what I mean by that, what I mean like going down, it's like you started seeing the cracks that then failed Spider-Man 2, in my opinion. And I would need to actually, again, they're also like so forgettable that it's like I would have to actually replay the games to even tell you anything that goes on in any of those games. It's like I can see like certain cutscenes in my head, and that's like all it. Like, I can tell you a single thing that happens between Peter Parker and Mary Jane in the first Spider-Man game. I literally can't tell you shit. I don't remember any of that. That's what I mean by like the story being like serviceable at best. Like, for example, like I of course this is a lot more fresh, but like I feel like I can I have this in like many situations where I played a game or watched a movie where it was like serviceable at best. It's like I watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, like what was it, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I can tell you beat for beat exactly what happens in that movie, because that story was fucking insanely good.
It was amazing.
Like, I've seen it once, and I like that was it. And it's like I can tell you exactly what happens in the correct order in that movie, because it was so good. But yeah, so that is my problem with Wolverine. Is it like you don't have the swinging anymore, so you don't have the crutch that actually kept me playing. The fun every time where I was like, I'm not really feeling this. Can this go over? Like in some situations, like, oh, this is good. Or like the combat was like, there was like a situation in the combat. I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually kind of enjoying this, because a lot of the time in those games, I feel like the combat just runs out of steam. Actually, like in some situations, you're like, the story just hits in the right way, or like whatever. It's like, oh, this is awesome, and but in like a lot of ways, you're just like crawling through a fucking tube. And it's like, what are we doing here? Also, like the stealth does a lot for me, as you guys know. Like any situation in those games where I can do stealth, but that's like another thing in those games as well. It's like, okay, you can kind of do like 20% of the encounter in stealth, and then someone's like, Spider-Man's here, and then you have to start beating dudes for like 20 minutes.
That sounds like a skill issue, dude. You could do plenty. Like, you could do the entire thing in stealth.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe I'm thinking of some of the optional encounters where you definitely have to start beating people up.
Yeah, the stealth is pretty advanced in Spider-Man.
But yeah, I love doing the stealth parts. So those are things that I like as well. And they do have stealth in Wolverine. That was literally the only part of anything that I've seen of this game. I was like, oh, maybe maybe I'll play this game. I don't know. But it's like everything else I'm just seeing, like, it's so cookie cutter. Like, and that's why I am so willing to like kind of judge this game prematurely is because I am seeing everything from everything I don't like from the Spider-Man game. I'm seeing them appear exactly the same way here, in exactly as uninteresting as they are in those games. And there's no swinging. So why should I care? And also in this situation, like, even if they made like Spider-Man 3 now, and I see, and like, let's say for some weird ass reason, they don't have swinging anymore. But it's the same. In that situation, it's at least the same characters. So there's like some amount of thread that still got me hooked, you know. Here it's just nothing. So
you have any history with Wolverine?
I watched the movies.
Okay.
But yeah, we also talked about a bet that we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Where I wrote this in our Discord chat. I think this is what's gonna happen. The game is actually like a mid to high 70 on Metacritic, but Insomniac has a really good reputation, and that's gonna give them a score bump. So it's probably gonna be in the low to mid 80s, is my guess. But this is gonna be something that we can't tell for a long time. I think this game is going to kind of reveal the cracks over time. I think this is going to be like a Skyward Sword. I think this is going to be like a Skyward Sword situation where that game got like 10s across the board. And then like 3 years later was like, why did we do this? And it's like Skyward Sword is a great game, but it's not a 10 out of 10. It's got a lot of problems. It's got a lot of problems. And those problems did not get revealed until a few years later.
I mean, I was like, out there shouting it when it came out. I don't know
but I mean, like the public consciousness, basically.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. Here's what I'm worried about. Is not that the public opinion of Insomniac is going to be retroactively damaged by this, because I think that's such a far cry, a fallacy, and never going to happen. Kind of one in a million thing ever. What I'm worried about is that we've backed Dennis into a corner here. And he has no choice but to double and triple down. So instead of the world deciding that Insomniac is bad at making games or has cracks in the way they make games, we have now unleashed a version of Dennis onto the world that now is going to find every fault he can with every Insomniac game ever released. We're going to be listening to this man spat off about how Fuse is the worst thing he's ever seen, and that's why Insomniac is terrible. I feel you, dude. I understand the whole, like, you're seeing everything that you don't like about the Spider-Man games and none of the things that you do like. I would implore, or I would argue, that the combat in Spidey is like some of the most immersive combat and it's second to a very short list of games. I said that in Discord. Like, it pulls so much influence from Arkham, but I think it does combat better than Arkham. The way you can, like, just, you feel like Spider-Man in a way that, like, you felt like Batman from the detective challenges and from the stealth aspects of the game, but the combat felt very comic booky and like made Batman feel like a character that he's not in a way. Spider-Man feels like he should move the way he moves in those games, and the dodging, the jumping off the walls, the sticking people to walls, pulling people back to you, the way the flow state that you get into in the Spider-Man games feels so natural, and the combat feels incredible. And if they nail that in Wolverine with this rage system, I think that's the thing to write home about. Is if that's what needs to be embodied in the gameplay, is feeling like Wolverine, feeling angry like Wolverine. And that's what I think you're talking about, the quick time event, which is not really a quick time event. It's really just like an immersion thing. You are summoning Wolverine's claws, which is the iconic Wolverine thing. And they're giving you L2R2 because they want you to feel like Wolverine. And in that moment, yeah, they could have just done it as a cinematic.
They got them adaptive triggers right there too. That are just
absolutely,
gonna
it's going to hit so good. It's going to hit so good.
Just do this, Dennis. Pretend you're just shink, shink, shink. You know what I'm saying?
Just anytime he brings up his claws in a cutscene, give me the L2R2 option. Like every single time. Like I want that. I want to be the one pulling the claws out. Like,
I don't know about that. I'm just gonna throw my sense in here. I don't disagree with Ryan at all. I don't know about the better than Arkham thing, just because I think the Arkham games did that before Spider-Man made you feel like Batman.
I'm talking about immersion wise. I think the combat's equal, but like I think the combat, because Batman shouldn't move the way he moves in the Arkham games. So like making you feel like the superhero, the detective stuff is what does that for Arkham. Making you feel like the world's greatest detective. And being like,
but he makes you feel like an unstoppable force like Batman, and he's
also
heavy
like jumping
and,
like 10 feet across the screen. Batman can't do that.
Bro, he does that in the cartoons.
You know what I mean? Like there's a logical explanation for why Spidey can do those things. Batman is not supposed to be able to do those things. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's the only thing I'm pointing out there.
I get it. I do feel like Spider-Man. I love the combat. I do feel like it is a little bit iterative on other stuff that we've seen before. Like, I don't adore the Spider-Man combat. I do adore how like expressive it is, and like the player choice is insane on it. Like the fact that like you can literally fight a horde of enemies completely in stealth or completely in the air, completely on the ground, completely with gadgets, using objects around you, bouncing off of walls. Like there's so many combinations of possibilities, and you could do all of those in one combat event. And like that's the reason why it never really wore down on me, because I was constantly just trying different stuff. But like I get that it also doesn't really like necessarily break any new ground. Like when I played it felt a little too light to me. Like I kind of missed like the heavy weightiness of Batman personally, but like again, this is Spider-Man. He's a different character. He's more nimble. So like I do agree that like it does feel perfect for what it is. As far as quick time events go, they don't bother me at all. Like unless they're obnoxious. I'm thinking back like Spider-Man 2 has that moment where Miles gets like thrown through a building and he grabs with his webs that thing back, and you like stretch out, and like I think there's maybe a quick time event there, but like it's interacting with this intense scene where you see Miles like struggling and you see him pulling back, and like you're doing that with the character. I think when quick time events are just like, hey, we're hitting X to make a cutscene move, yeah, that's lame. But like I don't think Insomniac does it in lame ways personally. I think it does always feel natural with the action that's happening. And of course, yeah, if you're walking away getting a bowl of fucking nachos or something and you're just watching it as a cutscene, it's going to feel awkward, because I've seen a video literally where somebody's like, what if I just don't press anything? And it looks fucking stupid because you see time freeze and just eventually literally stop. Like there's background effects, but the character is clearly like got no keyframes or animation, and it looks goofy as hell. But like, that never happens to me because I'm always like invigorated and like eyes on the screen, and I pause it when I step away. But
yeah, you can look at that crack if you want to, but that's part of gaming. Is it's an art form that requires feedback from the player. You can just put the controller down and be like, oh, that's stupid. But like the idea is they want you to press the buttons, so press the buttons.
I personally like it. I like, again, if it's done right and it makes you like involved in the moment that's happening with the cutscene, I like it. But like again, like there are lame ones, but I just disagree. I don't think Insomniacs, I don't ever notice them. I'll be real with you. Like I can picture that moment in my head just because it's so badass, but like they're just so like second nature to me that like it doesn't even trigger anything in my brain. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would also say like in terms of like Insomniac's prowess as a dev studio, like you talking about like the only thing you like that got you through the Spider-Man games is the web swinging, but you're saying that almost like a detractor, where it's like this is the best traversal system in a video game, bar like, none. And I don't even
I had
know
to play the best thing ever for so long.
I don't even know if there's a close second.
But it's like it is the only thing. It's like
it's not,
in that case I could just I could just like play a game where you swing around New York, which like I would have played that. Like I think when you have like
people do though, people just People just boot up Spidey just to swing. Dude.
I know, I do too. But what I mean is like
Really
not
good
the
swing.
rest of the game is like not interesting to me.
I don't know. I don't know.
And it's like
pass on that one, but
like I think like as a game designer, I feel like if you have one thing that holds up your entire game, your game design is flawed.
I
Like
just
you
disagree.
need to
That's
have
the only
other
thing that
games
holds
supporting
it
it.
up.
You need to have other
Like the-
systems supporting it. That it needs to be other reasons why the game is good. If you have like only one thing that it's like this is the thing that keeps people coming back because everything else is just lackluster, like you
But
got to
that's not
figure out
true.
why that is.
It's not true because the voice acting in that game is incredible. The story
I'm
in
talking
Spider-Man 1
I'm
and 2
talking
are
about the gameplay here.
okay, but the combat is really good. Maybe it didn't click with you, but that's not I don't think that's the majority of like gamers' takes on that. The combat's good in Spidey. Like, and the open world is very fun to explore. Like, I mean, obviously it's part of the traversal,
What are you
but like,
exploring? There are a bunch of backpacks on the walls.
what? You're fighting crime all over New York City.
Yeah, it's like the same 4 crimes.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's definitely more than 4. But I mean, I get what you're saying there. But they've diversified that throughout the games.
But
You
like
got fun side missions.
what I'm saying,
You
like, so
got
with
Mary
that,
Jane, dude. You get to do cool sneaking missions through a museum.
Sneaking
that
missions.
is like that is like part of like the hate train thing. I don't
No,
really
Yeah,
hate
I
those
think it's
parts.
overblown.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
hate them.
way
I don't love
overblown.
them. But
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I don't mind when like a video game decides to do something out of like the narrative, like basically entirely for narrative purposes, like as long as it's like quick and engaging to some extent, like yeah, it's fine. You know, like I mean, even in games that I love a lot, like there are, you know, parts of like I mean, one of my favorite parts of Uncharted 4. Talk about Uncharted 4 again. Thank you for the 2 subscribers who showed up just off the Uncharted 4 short. I mean, one of my favorite parts of that game is when you walk through Nathan Drake's house in the beginning, and like there's no like interesting thing happening from like a pure gameplay perspective. You're just walking around and seeing everything that's happened in his life, and it's awesome.
you mean like
I
when
love it.
Miles goes through the music museum?
See, I don't remember that part because
What the fuck? What the fuck? It's like the best part of the game.
I do have like some vague memory of what you're talking about, but actually
he's a huge jazz head. He's literally going through this museum and seeing that and listening to music and stuff with what's her, I don't remember her name actually, but like that part's incredible. It's like the same exact thing. God damn it.
But yeah, it's like, so like the point I'm making is that I don't dislike those parts of the Spider-Man games on principle.
Yeah.
Some of them are still like completely uninteresting and boring, but like on principle, I don't think they're bad. I think there are a lot of moments where you in like Spider-Man 2, I think I remember thinking those were pretty good. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand like the mid 70s. I think you're like, and saying it'll skew up to low 80s. I think I'll take that bet all day. I don't know what we're betting. We got to figure that out before we end this. But like,
I bet here now it will be at least 85.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
I think
mean,
it's
that's
above 85 easy.
Or like, yeah, I think it will be at highest 85.
Highest for me is a 92. Lowest I think is an 87. And
I say we bump lowest to 86, and that'll be the bet. Because I could see it being 85. Yeah, I mean 85 is a great score. Still, that's really good.
You're talking about a studio And I can't get off the pedigree thing of the Insomniac because you're talking about a studio whose last 4 titles were all nominated for Game of the Year. Every single one of their last 4 entries, Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, and Spider-Man 1 and 2 are all Game of the Year nominees. Like, I don't think I'm that outlandish saying
any of them should have been there.
That's minority, bro. You're
like, listen, the majority of the industry decided they should have been.
I hear a lot of your points, and I really like your pitch for what a Spider-Man game can be. I just don't necessarily equate that to being better than what we have, and maybe that's just because I love blockbusters and like being able to play through a Spider-Man movie essentially in this way where it is seamless. Like it's the best Spider-Man video game that's ever been, and we've had like fucking 20 of them. Like to me, it's just like we've had so many Spider-Man games attempted, and it's just like they've all been good. A lot of people like Spider-Man 2 movie tie-in. I think it's fine. Never really loved it that much. But what Insomniac did was give us one of the best Spider-Man stories with one, just in general. Like out of all the movies and comics that I've read, it's probably one of my favorites. With amazing combat, with seamless traversal into combat and like interacting with the world. Even if it is for crimes or whatever, like those moments are incredible. Like, cause you will just be swinging like, oh shit, let me go get the fucking backpack. Oh shit, somebody's getting robbed over here. You fucking swing onto their car and like, yeah, maybe it's quick time or whatever, but like you end up fucking catching the car net, you throw the guy up, web him, and it's like, it's awesome and it's all seamless. And it is all just like part of an experience that to me is much higher than like a mid game to me. Like, and again, I don't think it necessarily does anything groundbreaking beyond its swinging, but like to Ryan's point, the whole experience, you feel like fucking Spider-Man. I'm never bored playing it personally. Granted, I find myself getting bored when I'm 100%ing it sometimes. Like I'll turn on a podcast instead because I'm like, I don't really need to complete every single crime over and over and over again. Like, I don't necessarily love all that. And
they're the best platties ever, dude. They are the best platinum games of all time.
I don't love the gold time trials on some of them. Some of those I'm just like, I really don't want to do this 20 more times until I get it perfect. I don't know. But
I just think there's such a love letter to the character, all 3 of them. And I expect Wolverine to be the exact same thing.
I'm just happy it's linear. It's more contained because like that to me like tells us exactly what we need to know. It is a tailored experience. We are probably watching, and I won't compare it to Uncharted, but that's like the only thing I can think of. That's the experience I'm hoping to get out of this is like move to the next room, get some combat in, get a great cutscene. At the end of the day, you fall in love with the characters, you fall in love with the story and the combat. Like whether serviceable is a bad thing to you or not, I think if it services the game, like that's a good time to me, and like that's what I'm hoping for. I think that's going to earn it at least an 86.
I fully expect Uncharted level cuts, set pieces. Insomniac and Naughty Dog have a history of working together on projects, and I think this is just going to be Insomniac's superhero take at an Uncharted type of game.
I mean, if they had
maybe without the puzzle stuff.
I think that truck.
I think that truck scene is incredible. I don't know what you're talking
cooler
about.
Than a lot of people, but like, I don't know if I would say that it'll be like on that Uncharted level. I also, if I'm being honest, like I don't really love a lot of the gameplay in Uncharted. To me, that game gets boring occasionally. Like, aside from Uncharted 4, which we know is a perfect video game.
No,
Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, I get like to a point in every single one of those where I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to shoot any more people, please.
I know. No, I do. That's why in that short, thank you again, the 2 subscribers.
Thank you.
Where I talk about like I do think like Uncharted 4 improved on everything, like including the core gameplay. Where it's like that, the core gameplay in Uncharted 4 is so much more interesting. Like there's so many ways that you can tackle any situation.
Yeah. To my point, the player expression, which is what Spider-Man does in spades, my guy. There's so many ways you can tackle it.
Let's wrap up. What are we betting? Like, what are we betting on? What's the punishment or the reward for coming out here? Like with the
Dennis has to write a formal apology to Insomniac
and mail it to Insomniac. I like it.
No, I'm not gonna fucking mail anything.
I think I'll say this. If it scores a 90+, I expect you to play it on stream.
Bro, I don't have the money for that, man.
I'll buy it for you.
Why?
90+ is crazy. What did Spider-Man 2 get? Like, that's
spend that.
I'm not sure. I know they've all been like hovering around 88. I think
you can spend that money on buying me a Ghost of Yote instead, a game that I actually want to play.
As your punishment?
Yes. I'll play that as a punishment.
But you have to do it on stream.
Why?
Because that's the punishment of making you do something you don't want, but also something that you might want.
But dude, like, when to play something on stream, I have to like, I have to undo my entire sleep schedule in order to be on the same time as you guys.
No, I'll wake up in the morning with us. Yeah, I'll wake up in the morning with you, dude.
He's just
I've already done that with
lonely, sadly, depressingly playing Wolverine, and every time he has to whip his claws, I was like, God damn it, motherfuckers.
Oh, that sounds great. I can see the shorts write themselves. I'm just going to cut together every moment he has to take the claws out.
You see him roll his eyes subtly by like the 30th one.
But yeah, just like the second step of the bet is something that we can't see for a while, which is the long-term impression of this game. Like we saw with Spider-Man 2, like that soured real quick. Is that thunder?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I don't even expect that to be a realistic part of the bet. I'm not holding you to that. I think think that's just.
I think it's so out of the realm of possibility. We shouldn't even bother with it. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So what happens when I'm inevitably right about it being below 85?
I don't know. You kind of have to decide that. What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want?
Ghost of Yote, apparently.
Can we put the King of Mario title on this? If it's over an 85, hold on. Let me finish here, because I call myself the King of Mario because I rightfully won the competition. But if Wolverine is over an 86, you have to call me the King of Mario on stream for the remainder of the year.
It's a punishment for me.
No.
That's not.
Oh no, just Dennis. Just Dennis, not you.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that every time he refers to you.
I mean, I am.
Also,
you're getting rewarded for something you and I are betting on together.
I'm 100% gonna forget to do that.
Oh, I'll remind you. Don't you worry, you beautiful Swedish baby bastard.
Baby bastard. It's crazy. We'll have to come up with the punishments and stakes later.
Because we got to wrap up. We did pretty good on time. We're at the 2-hour mark. This is the best we've ever done. Good people of the internet, let me do some housekeeping real quick before we conclude. If you are new to the channel, you can catch us every Wednesday at twitch.tv/Famipod. If you can't catch us live because it's super late, you can catch the VOD up Thursday mornings at youtube.com/@Famipod or your favorite podcast services such as Spotify, Amazon, and Google Podcasts. If you like what we do, make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, all the cool stuffs that help out the content, help us grow. I know I speak for everybody here. We appreciate all the support we've gotten so far, all the comments. Diego and Burb in here every week, listening to us ramble and sound like idiots, or listen to Curly talk about nipples. But yeah, thank y'all so much. We'll be back. Hopefully we can keep doing more content like this with y'all's support. We'll be back next week with our final fantasy draft of the year.
Not Final Fantasy. The final Fantasy
I
draft.
said what I said. I said what I said. And possibly some Gamescom
Oh.
predictions.
Wait, if we do that, we're not playing Big Walk.
No, yeah, we're playing Big Walk this weekend.
That makes me big sad.
I mean, we could do the draft another time, but we're running out of time to get
No,
games
you're
picked.
right. You're right.
We got to pick 8 more games for this.
I just wanted to find some more nipples. That's all.
Curly's
Big
big sad
Walk
about the
is
big
like
nips.
100% earliest game of the year.
It's pretty great.
It might be.
But until we decide what we're doing next Wednesday, we are going to awkwardly wave goodbye. Adios, everybody.
The VOD thing for or the first episode of Big Walk is like coming.
Oh,
What do you say
very
this
soon.
weekend?
Yeah, I'll have it out this weekend.
Sick.
45 minutes of pure nipple fury.
I think that is literally the from what I've seen so far, that's gonna be the best video that we've made so far.
Subscribe right now. Do it. You won't.
Subscribe.
Do it.
You'll see it. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna watch Curly be like the happiest he's ever been.
Hit the bell.
Walking around with nipples in his hands.
We found a nipple.
Yeah.
Put me under the tea. I hate it. I hate it.
What?
We stacked to get the nipple. When we pressed the button, you just went full like, put me under the tea. Give me that tea.
I don't have any recollection of that.
Are we still live?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, my arms are tired.